So I'm adding this Gorilla Grip adhesive liner to all my kitchen cabinets today, and I'm really happy with the results so far. So I thought I'd share real quick with you my process for applying it, as well as a few useful tips that I've come up with along the way that might come in handy to you if you're looking to do a project like this. Now, real quick, here's an up close look at the style that I got. This is the white and blue in the 11.8 by 20. And as you can see here, it is very thin. I believe it's made out of some type of vinyl material, but even though it's really thin, it's also really strong. So it doesn't rip easily. It can get wet and be wiped down as many times as you want. It won't get ruined. It does crease if you were to fold it, but it doesn't get crinkled very easily. Now, to begin the process of applying this, first I just clean the surface that I'm going to apply it to, then measure it, and as you can see here, once we roll it out, it has these really nice measuring squares that make it really easy to measure and cut. Now, when it comes to cutting this, one thing that you don't want to do is cut it to the exact measurements of your surface. I found out the hard way that that makes things a lot more difficult and stressful, so I would definitely suggest leaving excess on all sides, and I'll show you why in a second. Now, real quick, we're just going to peel this backing off, then we're going to attempt to apply it down. Now, this part can be a bit tricky. Sometimes it'll just work out perfectly and instantly lay flat, and other times there's going to be a lot of air bubbles and it's not going to be straight, and when that happens, I've just been peeling it back up and starting over. And as you can see here, peeling it up is pretty easy. I mean, it's definitely sticky, so you have to pull pretty hard, but it comes back up without any issue. And it definitely doesn't feel like it's gonna tear, or at least I haven't torn any yet. Oh, and if you accidentally get it stuck together, it does peel apart without ruining it, which is nice. Okay, so once I've got it right where I want it, with all the air bubbles out, and we've got excess on all sides, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it right in the seam. Then, as you can see here, I can just peel away the extra. And I don't know about you, but I think the end result looks really fun and clean. It's also nice and durable, so when you're moving things around the surface, it's not leaving marks or scratches, which is nice, and it's also really easy to clean. At this point, I've got almost all my cupboards done, and it's definitely one of those things that, like, once you get the hang of it, it starts to go pretty fast. But one thing to keep in mind is if you don't have much time to commit to this project, I would definitely suggest going with the non-adhesive version. Now, one small thing that I have noticed that I think might frustrate some people is that if you don't get this lined up perfectly, as you can see here, this design I chose has lines on it. And if it's a bit crooked once you lay it down, you might be able to notice that the lines aren't perfectly straight. Now, this doesn't bother me, and I plan to have this cupboard pretty full, so you'll probably never notice it, but I just thought I'd mention it. But overall, I think this is a fun project, and I'm really enjoying the outcome so far.